could have put that out. I'm not even blaming, but to calm everyone down. And now we can figure out what to do going forward. And as far as you want the truth, girl, I hope you get the truth if everyone's back, because I'm not convinced you're going to get it. If everyone comes back and Malaya is there and Josephina and his curly little hair and the steam coming out of his head, and you don't get the truth and you get another season of bullshit, that's what these people don't want. And there's this fighting over bullshit between these two.
I'll make sure that I tell them. They'll listen to us, and I'll make sure I'll tell them what bullshit. Speaking of the little guy, okay?
Yeah.
How disgusting was that video?
Woo!
How did who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? The way he speaks to people. I mean, you could tell the guy was down on his luck. The state is paying for some of his rent. The way he talks to people, he's so disgusting. He's so disgusting. And then he tries to be on the show. He's a family man. I don't think so, little Gorga. I don't think so. You're evil. You are really evil. You really are.
I just want to know why this video is resurfacing now, because it was already out there. Like this video where Joe Gorga, for everyone hasn't seen it, like he goes crazy on the person who owes him rent, and the guy's like, "You were paid by the state, other than the last week or whatever." I mean, people are just sitting up at night and coming for the Gorgas. The joke is, Malaya, we're not. She said what she said. I called her a bad word. We moved on. We're not the ones, but there are people that are up at night digging. They're digging into you, Malaya. Digging. We're just running a business over here, girl.
And by the way, they're being sued by everyone. But the big lawsuit is a construction guy. Obviously, he's a big time guy. $110,000. He says they owe him for construction on their home. He hired a big time lawyer, and he wants it to go to trial. So little Gorga is going to have to hire a big time lawyer. Okay. And it's going to cost him a ton of money. It's all catching up to him. Sometimes you just F with the wrong person. And this guy don't want to hear it. He got a big time lawyer. He wants to make a statement and he wants his money. And I don't blame him. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I mean, when you get sued, you can't defend it on your own, no matter who you are. So, I mean, maybe if you're like Gloria Allred or Nancy Grace,
different story.
But if you're, like I'm a lawyer, I can't defend myself. I'm a loser. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Right. You got to go get a real lawyer. And so if something goes to trial, that is a minimum. I mean, when I say minimum, I mean a minimum of $250,000. Yeah. And that is a minimum. I'm telling you this. I know this 100% in hours billed. And that's the minimum. So you got a real problem there, guys. I mean, you got a real problem. And wouldn't it just be easier at this point now to pay the person? Mind you, right? It seems like the guy doesn't even, you piss someone off enough and they don't even want the money anymore. I think he wants to sue him.
He wants to sue him. He wants to sue him. He's done. He's done. And he'll set a precedent for the rest of the people that are suing them. So yeah, it's an ugly, guys. It's ugly. You don't stick people for $110,000 for construction, but you know what it is? Little Gorga is so used to getting away with this. Since I was on the show, how many years ago? 13? He's been doing this to everyone and gets away with it. So the more you get away with things, the easier you think it is. He thinks he's the Teflon Don, but it's coming down. It's coming down.
And then when he was screaming, I'm like, two things. One, I'm like, man, you are your sister's brother. Like these two are cut. They got it. Two of these have a temper. They were just raised hot-headed.
Well, the father was hot-headed. God rest his soul. She admits it. He was hot-headed. So listen, he was always lovely to me. He was very nice. The mother was a sweetheart. But let's face it, that's the truth. The father was hot-headed. This is where the way these kids grew up. Now they're adults acting like freaking animals. Worse, animals are lovely creatures. Monsters sometimes. A lot of hate inside of them. A lot of hate, vitriol, hate. Very scary. I've never hated anyone or ever been jealous of anyone in my whole life, ever.
If I were the person that kept saying I'm going to call, I would have called the police as soon as he was screaming and going to get the bat. But here's the thing, I mean, like Melissa. Now I know she's used to it, but like when she watches a video like this, I mean, in what world does she think like, great, bravo, honey, I'm standing by you? Like she doesn't pull him aside and is like, first of all, we're public figures. We're in the public eye. This video, I mean, like, this is not like, I mean, I don't know. I
don't think she says anything to him. I think that I'm not a psychologist, but I just think that as long as Melissa is getting what Melissa wants, the house that she wants, the car that she wants, the store that she wants, the clothes that she wants, I don't think she gives a flying F what he does. I don't think she cares who he calls names, what he has to do to get the money, who he sticks. Like I said, I've called them Bonnie and Clyde. So he lies, she swears to it. She lies, he swears to it. That's just the way they roll. That's the way they roll.
And why not go and like, I don't know, go and like sue yourself? Like that's what you do. I mean, go and sue. If you're owed money, Joe Gorga, you should sue. Like that's, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
he tried to bully the guy because he's a little bully. He's a teeny weeny little bully. A teeny weeny.
Very teeny and
very teeny.
And let me tell you, girl, from what I've been hearing in the streets, he's very weenie, very teeny.
Sure. I used to call it gorilla. Weenie. I don't think it's gorilla. Yeah, I don't think it's gorilla. Anyone who has to call their, a name has got issues. Can we, since we were talking about animals that I love, everyone knows I love. I gave Rachel a little bit of a pass. I don't think she's 100. I don't think there's, I don't think the elevator goes to the top. Could be a couple French fries short of a Happy Meal. A couple tools missing from that shed. But here's where she went wrong in my book, and I can never go back. She put her dog in a pound. Now she's blaming her mother, that her mother did it. You put your dog in a pound. Why didn't she just call James and say, listen, the dog's biting. It was both of our dogs. I don't want to ever put a dog in a pound. God forbid. You put your dog in a pound? You're soulless. Now I know that you're soulless. You put a dog that someone that you lived with and was engaged to would have taken it, who has it now, thank God. Instead, you brought it to a pound? That's unforgivable. Unforgivable. She's out. She's out. She's out of my book. I will never stick up for her. You have no soul, girlfriend. You belonged in a mental institution, health, whatever the hell that was. I hope they gave you a soul because you have no soul to do that. And if your mother did it, she has no soul because she should have called up James and given him the dog. What a sick thing to do. What a sick thing to do. I'm really upset. I'm really upset.
You're no longer a fan of Rachel Leviss.
I've never been a fan, but I didn't not like her. Like I gave her a pass because I thought she was young and not very bright. And I know that Tom's a good looking guy. And, he has that je ne sais quoi, and she looked up to him. And what she did to Ariana was terrible. But I think Ariana has taken this victimhood way too far. I'm not a big fan of hers either. And I don't like the way she,
not at all.
I don't like the way she treated me and Kristen when she was bartending. We just didn't like her. Yeah.
What do you mean?
When she was a bartender at the restaurant.
You never told me this. So you and Kristen went to SAR?
Me and